Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are
All
right.
right.
No, I was hoping that you still be talking. Yeah, we're having empowering conversations even before we start. It's kind of
Oh no,
funny.
we're getting into it before
Like
we even press live.
people will be like, "Oh my God, what were they talking about?" And then we just switch subjects. Hello, everybody,
Yeah.
and welcome to Food Therapy. What's going on? Hail to the
Woo!
yeah,
Hell
yeah.
to the yes. And who are you? Who are you, Stephanie?
I am De-Fa-Rekin-Licious. Who
Oh,
are
are you?
you?
I am sparked up and ready to go in Siobhan's Spark Up Kitchen. And before we actually get started, can we do our little celebration dance right now? Because you may notice there are
Oh,
no wires.
we are.
I can walk away and
Woo! We ain't got no wires. Woo! Yeah!
you
Hail to
know,
the yeah! Hail to the
yeah,
yeah!
yeah,
Yeah, come on, we got a viewer, girl. We got to keep doing it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
We don't have any hardwire into our laptops right now.
Yeah.
Yeah!
And,
And we're
this just shows
celebrating.
this just shows how authentic that we are, I have to say. Stephanie and
Yes.
I did not plan this. We went on at noon with each other to make sure everything was done, sound
Yes.
checks, the whole bit.
Oh
So
my God.
the fact what you just saw was real. We didn't say, okay, let's get all excited. We didn't say, let's amp up our mood. That's what living a joyful life is that
Being
this freaking
authentic.
excites us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, because here's the thing, guys. Like this, this show and what we're doing and what we're bringing forth means so much to both of us. And it was a little tense and stressful to always be hardwired in and have to always, risk burning my cord or just be hardwired in and being restrictive. That's kind of like, oh, and it means so much to us because now we have that freedom to just, now we can cook, hey, and not worry about any like limitations and restrictions.
There will not be any more of this.
Right? No. Hell, or I've got to go off camera. Oh, let me get my. So anyway, guys, hey, welcome to Food Therapy. We are cooking my De-Fa-Rekin Asian deviled eggs. Yes, and we're going to get started here, and we've already boiled our eggs. Yeah, we did do
We have.
that.
Where are my boiled
Yes.
eggs? Oh, right here.
And I don't know if you. So yeah, we're just gonna start by everybody. I think everybody knows how to make a doggone deviled egg, but the point with mine is that they're made with Greek yogurt instead of mayo, and that just makes them so much healthier. Just adding extra value to what you're putting into your body, and if you can create extra value by what you're fueling and feeding your body, and it tastes just as good, if not better.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you as well
Delicious.
for substitution. So this recipe calls for wasabi powder. I had wasabi paste. I took it out of the fridge today, and there were like white globs in it. And then I went, I looked at the expiry date, and it was September 2018. So I didn't have time to go to the store. So, horseradish has the same kind of properties as wasabi. And lots of spicy foods have different types of heat. You'll know that Tabasco is a different type of heat than Chipotle, which is a different type of heat than jalapeno, which is a different type of heat from both the wasabis and the horseradish. And people, I used to actually, when I had a really bad allergies or stuffed up, eat wasabi or eat horseradish because
it'll cause everything to water to start to break down. Yeah,
that's right. So I knew that a little bit of horseradish would still give me that same effect as wasabi. So, that's what I did now. Oh, I got to share. I got to share.
I
know. I keep forgetting to share us.
Well, you usually don't forget. But yeah, so basically, I'll just tell you a little bit about the recipe, some of the really important tips about my particular recipe that makes it so De-FaRekin-Licious. And so yeah, so again, one of it is, quarter cup of Greek yogurt instead of the mayo. And the other thing that's extremely, extremely, extremely important is, and I say this in the recipe, is you want to chop up extremely, very tinily, as tedious as that is, red onion and cucumber. Okay, because this is going to be part of the consistency that's so pleasing when you bite into that deviled egg and you're getting the conglomeration of tinily chunk plus the sesame seeds, the crunch of the sesame seeds, the chives, and then that punch powerful flavor of the wasabi and the sesame oil. And the rice wine vinegar. So you're marinating the day before, and in rice wine vinegar, very, very tinily chopped red onion and cucumber, and then putting it in the refrigerator. No sugar, nothing else, just rice wine vinegar and onion and cucumber.
Okay, and can I just mention that I don't know if tinily is a word, but it really looks cute when you spell it. And it's Tinyly, which is so cute. When I was reading that, I'm like, very tinily. Oh, very tinily. But I was, I went to chef school. I did the chopping and the dicing and the slicing, but I honestly don't have a lot of patience sometimes. So thank you, Chef Stephanie, because we talk during the week. We talk like 5 times a day. Yes. But she showed me pictures yesterday of her cucumber and her onions, and then I took pictures of mine, and she was like, I think it's going to have to be a little bit tinier. So I have now gone even tinilier, and they're very small in here now. Yeah.
So are you mixing?
Yes, they are. It should be, how would you say, tiny frickin' Lee. I don't know.
Tiny-FaRekin-Lee. So so like I was saying, you want to very, very, very tinily chop your red onion and your cucumber the day before and marinate it in the rice wine vinegar. And again, having it so tinily and not having huge chunks of the cucumber and onion is going to be such a much more pleasing consistency when you're biting into that deviled egg with that punch power flavor of sesame oil and wasabi and that crunch from the cucumber and onion. So I've almost got all my egg yolks in here, and then we're going to add our Greek yogurt. And again, Greek yogurt is about adding that extra nutrition and health. Mayo doesn't add any nutritional value, and this does, and it's just healthier, which is again what De-FaRekin-Licious is all about.
Yes.
So I think I think Jacqueline comes on Empowered Conversations next week. I think it's next week, or it's either the following.
Oh,
super excited about that.
Oh, awesome! I am thrilled. I will definitely be glued. I really try to make it a point, and not just because Stephanie is my friend and I want to support her, which I do, but her conversations are absolutely amazing. Like the guests that you have on, that, and I kind of shared this in a live I did not too long ago, where everyone, it's all kind of the same when you strip down everybody's awakening and the different ways that, like, either whether it's Joe Dispenza, Jay Shetty, your guests, you and I, law of attraction, subconscious, conscious. It really is the same in the end, in that it's about energy, it's about the power of the mind, it's about awakening from the
state of mediocrity and existing and not, and that kind of ties into today's subject. And, you and I talk about this all the time. I mean, and it's and obviously the people that are on my show, Empowered Conversations, that they share very similar core values. And from those core values, they have made the decision to do things that resemble that, so they can empower others, those who are willing to listen. And everybody is on their different journey again, and that kind of ties into the state of being authentic. And it was like last week after my Empowered Conversation with Gina Spriggs. If you haven't watched that, you must go back and watch it. But it's like, this is, and I was headed to the gym, and this was the epiphany that that I came to. Self-discovery is scary because once you discover to the depths of who you are, you can no longer operate in that same place of being
Yeah.
that you existed in. Now that you have awoken to the personal responsibility associated with being able to take full charge of your life and creating from that newly recognized authentic place. And Siobhan and I were talking about a different subject. We won't get into that. But it's like once you are aware of something, the mind doesn't go back to the dimensions from where it expanded from.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Your realization, once you have the epiphany about certain things, you're like, whoa.
Well, that's and that's what I found. Like once I found the alignment vibration, for lack of a better word. Well, there is no better word. It is the alignment vibration of what it feels like to feel good for no reason, other than the fact that I'm alive and there are birds in my backyard. And I have all my hands and my feet. That feeling of utter bliss. It's really hard not to want that all the time. And, now my thoughts, when I am so aware now of when my thoughts go to the negative, that
me too.
I have to fix it. So, for instance, we're planning a big motorcycle trip this year on our motorcycles down through BC in the mountain passes, and a couple of friends that we're going with, have off-road dual bikes. I'm just going to taste that. Oh my God. Have off-road dual bikes. And we're talking about gravel roads, and I'm saying I don't want to do gravel roads. I'm afraid of gravel roads. I'm not doing gravel roads. And I'm afraid of them.
Right.
Okay. And I did have an accident.
That.
I did have an accident 11 years ago on the back of a motorcycle on a gravel road. However,
that does create PTSD.
But I'm going to a coach. I'm working with a coach on my anxiety and that kind of thing. But there is that limiting belief. And I can't keep falling back on I'm afraid of a gravel road. Because that's a limiting belief. And it's also causing me anxiety when they're talking about gravel roads, the people I'm planning with, and me saying, I'm afraid of them. And my anxiety gets up there. How about using, and this is what I have to say to myself, I have a 2-step process for helping me with this, which is putting it in the past. Remember when I used to be afraid of gravel roads? And now I'm willing to learn how to ride on gravel roads. So great, because my husband said, it's fine if we don't want to do gravel roads. But what if we're in the middle of BC and there's highway construction? We have no choice. It's going to be gravel for the next 5 kilometers. I need to know. I need to do that. So
you need to know that you're going to be able to survive, because everything isn't always everything.
Exactly.
Everything isn't always everything.
And right now, the biggest unknown is my lack of ability. Because when I had the motorcycle accident, I was on the back of somebody's motorcycle. So I was already feeling helpless and powerless in that situation because he was in control of the motorcycle. And I also knew exactly what he did wrong because I also had a motorcycle at that time, a motorcycle license, but I didn't have my motorcycle that day.
Yeah.
However, Graham said, we're going to go out and we're going to find a couple local gravel roads, nothing crazy, so I can get comfortable and I can learn how to handle my motorcycle.
So when you're in that situation next time, yes, and that happens.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to say before I add the onions and the cucumbers. So what you do want to do when you take your table, and it is important to use a tablespoon to scoop, you want to make sure that you kind of to the side of the jar. You don't want to put all the liquid in there. You just want to get the tablespoon of onions, and you might add some of the liquid in a little bit, but just do, just a tablespoon with the rice wine vinegar drained.
Yeah, I gotcha.
There you go. All right, so you want to add those 2 tablespoons, and again, we might be adding, oh my God, those cucumbers smell amazing.
I know, don't they? Don't they?
And I'm just as I go.
And part of removing limiting beliefs, and I'll just say it, is there is an action part to it. You know, there is no real magic formula. There is a magic formula, but there's an action that goes with it. And, you know, people will go to coaching, or they'll go and do something, or, you know, do coaching and say, oh, that didn't really work. Well, because they're not doing the part that they need. Yeah, there's an action part of it.
The gym once or for a week and go, well, why the hell ain't my body all buff? It's something you got to do on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you got to, you know, you've got to, and self-discovery. And that's what, you know, James was saying yesterday on Empowered Conversations, that it's something, it's lifelong journey. Once you wake up and realize, you know, how important you are and the self-worth and value. And again, guys, we get it. It's scary. It's scary, especially if you're not accustomed to you know, to that type of mindset or that type of beingness, which is why, you know, but once you go down the road of self-discovery, you realize the worth and value that's associated with being in that new state of authenticity, and you start realizing the power you have to create your life. You can no longer blame anything or anyone or anything other than yourself or outside of yourself, because everything, you know, comes from within. And not to say that things don't happen, shit don't happen, mistakes don't happen, and not to say you're going to be perfect either, but you still, like what Siobhan was saying, you wake up and realize, you start to consciously think about those times when you're being negative, whining, bitching, complaining, or blaming something outside of yourself for what's going on in your life, instead of taking that personal responsibility, going, wait a minute, how could I look at this a little bit differently? What change can I make, or what next right step, or not what right move, different move? How can I create? It's a journey, and it's such a beautiful journey, and it's such a
really is
amazing sense of freedom.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And, you know, you become not addicted to the feeling, but you know, once you know, you know.
You know.
And I couldn't imagine like giving up now and saying, well, you know, that was a fun experiment. Now I better get back and find a real job in a brick and mortar building somewhere. It's like,
not to say that real jobs are not good, because you can still have a real job, or be an accountant, or have, like, be CEO of the world organization, and still have so much deeper and greater of a purpose outside of that.
Yes.
You know, and be happy and live a fulfilled, you know, thriving life. Okay, I'm going to taste mine too, because again, we might even be, I think in the original recipe I said 2 tablespoons of the cucumbers and 2 tablespoons of the onions.
More both.
Oh, most definitely. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons, because again, you want that crunch of the tinily chopped cucumbers and onions.
Yeah, you really do.
God, it's good. Oh my God, these are amazing. These are amazing. Yeah,
they really are. And it's such a treat from just regular deviled eggs, right? Like the sesame and the pickled stuff. Like, again, amazing. All right.
Golly. I'm egg doggone sided. Egg doggone sided. And we've got some comments. Okay, Camille says, hello, ladies. Hello, Camille.
Hi,
and she says,
Camille.
you're stripping. Camille says you're stripping down.
No, maybe with the microphone.
But no, we're doing stripping down episode of food therapy, naked food therapy, naked food therapy.
It must be hot there today.
She says, you're spot on, my friend, spot on. Preach it, sister. And then Mark the Gabriel says, looks pretty buff to me. Cool. Again, it's something you got to do, and do it all the time. Yeah. All right, guys, these smell amazing. But again, I might wind up adding all of the onion, and because I really love, you know, that
me too. I'm adding more.
A very tiny onion.
Yeah, I'm adding more.
I don't know if y'all were on at the very beginning, but Siobhan and I were running around our kitchens, hopping around our kitchens in celebration of we're using our Bluetooth earbuds. I knew there was a way, because I mean, my earbuds were connecting where I could hear. It wasn't connecting as my microphone, and I just had to change a setting, like download, unload, reload, and then But it's done, and it's done.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit behind the times in technology, because some people might be saying, well, why? It's not like wireless earbuds just came out now. But I am a little bit behind
with our computers. They weren't working with our settings. It was a Windows 10 setting that had to be updated.
Oh, yeah, I had to go into my apps as well and allow a couple more things to happen.
Taste it.
I think my yolk is ready to go into the...
Wow.
Yum. Yeah.
I think mine is too. Hold on. Well, no, you go ahead. You go ahead and start filling, girl.
Yeah, I am going to start filling.
I am going to do just a tad bit more sesame. Just a smidge. Y'all, these are the most amazing deviled eggs in the world. Like, in the world, seriously. Like, I've been voted best deviled eggs in the world. And,
really?
yeah. And, but no, I used to take these to this pig picking that I went to several years in a row, and they were doubled up.
To a what?
Pig picking? A pig picking.
A pig picking.
It's where they roast a big, huge hog.
Oh, okay.
Everybody brings like a covered dish, and I used to bring these Asian-inspired deviled eggs, and they would be gone in 20 minutes. And this one girl, as soon as I arrived, she's like, "Oh my God, Stephanie's here with the Asian deviled eggs." She'd run over there. She'd have like 4 or 5 of them. Like, these are amazing, guys. These are absolutely astoundingly amazing.
They are. I've never heard of it called a pig picking before. We up here in Canada just call it like a... Pardon?
It's a North Carolina term. I'm going to do a little bit more wasabi powder, too. And, guys, you know what? I mean, my recipe is my recipe, but sometimes you need to modify a little bit because you never know how big or small the eggs are. And this is another thing. Fresh eggs. I get my eggs that I eat every morning for breakfast from this farm down the street, and because they're free range, whatever, they're everything organic that organic could possibly be. But those are actually not the best eggs. Fresh eggs are not the best to use when you're making deviled eggs of any kind, because when you're peeling them, they don't peel very well. They start to stick. So I did get a carton of eggs from the grocery store, but you can still get the cage-free, free-range eggs. You can still get a healthier version from the store. Just don't use farm fresh eggs for deviled eggs.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Oh
and
my
I have
goodness.
A tray. Yeah, they do look amazing, don't they?
Well, I have a tray.
I think I did not get a new. Oh, I think I did not get a new tray. So I'm just going to put a few of these together just to make a picture.
Yeah.
And to make a picture.
I've got all mine on a cookie sheet here. Oh my goodness.
So
I want to share it with everybody. I just want to share everybody that I'm doing a laughter yoga party this Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time in a Facebook room. Yeah, it'll be noontime there. And it is going to be a laughter yoga class in a Facebook room. So we're really I'm taking it up a notch. Usually I do a laughter yoga class every Wednesday, and I just do a Facebook Live. So I don't really see people. I know they're there because they say hello, and I've got my regulars, which is excellent. But with the coming of, eventually laughter yoga clubs are going to be open again. And eventually laughter yoga leaders are going to be holding laughter yoga in public. We're not ready for that out here in BC yet. But what I want to do is have a face-to-face with a virtual room. So we can actually come in and look at each other and see each other laugh and make it more of the group thing that it's supposed to be. So I've created an event. It's on Facebook. It's a public event, but it is in a room because, we want a little bit, we don't want to be broadcasting all over hell and creation for this. So it is in a private room. Yeah, so it's great. If you're not my Facebook friend, become my Facebook friend. And if you are my Facebook friend, just just come and experience laughter yoga with other people in the room at the same time. And because if you are one of my participants who are just, who are in their own living room, to experience it with other people just jacks it up even more. And I posted yesterday, I found an Oprah Winfrey link. So Oprah back in 2011 sent her hairdresser Reggie to a laughter yoga party. I don't know where he was, but these people were crazy. I think I'm crazy. There was like 60 people doing this laughter stuff, and like Reggie said, I thought they were all crazy. And they did look crazy. Even I'm thinking, oh my God, these people are crazy. Like people look at me and think I'm crazy. But when Oprah talked to him, he said he confided that before Oprah had sent him to this, he was really in a bad place. He had lost his partner or a friend, and he was really in a bad place. He didn't even really want to go to this thing, but Oprah said, no, go, I'm putting it on the show. And he did, and he came out of it. He came out of it feeling so much better and feeling happy and joyful, which is what laughter yoga does, right? Mm-hmm. That's what it does. And, I just don't know why everybody in the world isn't doing laughter yoga.
Oh my God. And you know what? I have nothing going on this Saturday morning. Now, and I most likely, I can attend.
Yeah. And, people are always looking for the easy way. I want an easy way. I want an easy way to feel good. I want an easy way to fix my life. I want an easy way.
Right.
Well, there are two easy ways that I can tell you right now. One way is to laugh. Oh, yum. Oh, right. Yes. My garlic chives from the, I took a picture, but I didn't have the garlic chives on here. So hold on. One way is to laugh. Oh, Steph, that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
One way is to laugh. Now, a lot of people can't find their laughter, don't have laughter. I understand that. That's why we fake laugh.
Laughter yoga, exactly. Because it emits the same
exactly.
endorphins.
That's why we fake laugh. But the other easy way.
Cheers. Hey, I just want to say, don't mean to interrupt. I want to do a cheers.
Oh, okay.
I want to do a cheer, like cheers.
Oh, right. I gotta go the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
Which way? This way. Cheers. Cheers. There we go.
Everybody. Oh my God. Let me take a picture.
Okay. Get it.
I'm crazy. I want to take a picture.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Okay, you got to get your.
Cheers.
Wait. Oh, right. I got to go that way.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, I got to go down.
Okay. I got it. Yeah. Yum, guys. Oh my God.
So those onion and cucumber really make this all the difference in the world.
And the sesame seeds, the multitude of consistency in these deviled eggs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I need another one.
God, these are amazing. Oh my God.
I had the other thing, which people can't grasp, and I understand it because I was there for a long time, is deciding just to feel good anyway. Everybody, there's that thought process that people want things because they believe they will feel better in the getting of them.
Right. Or after getting them.
Well, yeah. Once I get that, I'll be happy. So,
right.
The problem is, that happiness never lasts because you're going to get tired of it. You're
always
going to
be
get tired of it. It's science. It's science. You're going to get tired of it.
Be happy now.
Be happy now. But there's we haven't been brought up to feel good in the moment, to feel good with what we have. Like we were never brought up that it's a choice and that you can feel good without all these external circumstances having to match up to what you want. That's the insanity of it.
And I relate that to going through, painful experiences, but deciding to be happy anyway, deciding
Yeah.
to be in that, to at least look and seek that state of joy when going through something extremely difficult. And again, that's a
Yeah.
little bit different, going through something difficult, like a really super excruciatingly painful situation.
Well, yeah, and I think we spoke a little bit about sometimes,
But most people are
the
happy and they're
people
just
who,
every day with no problem.
yeah, sometimes the people who watch this show aren't the people who need to hear our message, right? Like the
Right.
people who are watching my videos aren't necessarily the people who need to hear it because they're
Oh,
already living it.
Siobhan. Oh, Siobhan.
They're already living it. It's at how you
Right.
reach those people. They're not reachable. They're not.
But it's everybody's journey. It's everybody's journey, and that's what, like James and I were talking about yesterday. You can't make people see, and we were comparing the actions of those people who stormed the Capitol. You
Yeah.
can't make someone see something from your eyes because they haven't lived your experience.
No. No, that is exactly right. And I was
You
going
just
to
have
say
to hope that
something.
they will
Yeah,
have
and
some
I
form
was
of
going to
epiphany
yeah,
in their life.
I was going to say something about that too. Oh, listening to I've been on a big Joe Dispenza kick lately about the actual addiction to negative behaviors, to that feeling, because your body is used. You only
Mm-hmm.
have neural pathways this way.
Yeah.
So I'll share the story that I think I don't know if I've shared it here, but I have shared it on a live before. Back when I'm in my late 20s, when I moved out from Nova Scotia to British Columbia, I hooked up with an alcoholic. And actually, this alcoholic used to live in Nova Scotia. I used to date him, and now he was living out on the West Coast. So it just made sense that we get back together, and I move in with him, right? Because isn't that what you do? No, all the problems disappeared from one coast to another, but it made sense at the time.
Right.
And I knew at the time that he was an alcoholic, but I thought, well, I can handle that because I handled my mother's alcoholism really well.
Right.
Not, but
Right.
that was my mindset. And, if you are one of those people that think, oh, everything will just get better if the alcoholic would just get sober, which was my thinking. And my alcoholic was also a cocaine addict, which I didn't know at the time. But it was, if only he would get better, our relationship would be perfect and I would be happy.
Right.
But then guess what?
Right.
He did. He did. Isn't that every person's dream come true? Oh my God, you are going to recovery. Oh my God, you are going to get sober. This is amazing. And he did. Off he went. He went into recovery. He went to a recovery home that was 4 hours away from where we lived, and he was working on his stuff. I should be happy now, right? Because that's what I said. As long as you get sober, I'll get happy. Well, it didn't work out that way.
Right.
And I was so shocked. Honestly, it was like someone woke up and slapped me in the face. I was waking up and I was thinking, oh my God, I am miserable. I'm supposed to be happy, damn it. He went to get sober. Why aren't I happy? I said I was going to be happy when he got sober. And then I realized, like, the dawning of waking up day after day being miserable, and waking up by myself and being miserable. So I couldn't look at him and go, oh, right, I'm miserable because he stayed up all night drinking, or I'm miserable because I don't know where
You can't blame you for something. Right. Good story, Siobhan.
So I was waking up by myself going, well, I'm still miserable.
Right.
What is, and then I clued in, like, it was kind of like, I think there's still something wrong with me. Like, I think that there is still something wrong with me that I need to fix. And that's when I started going, that's when I looked up Al-Anon. And I had gone to Al-Anon, actually, I'd gone to Adult Children of Alcoholics before. But I clued in, like, I'm still miserable, and he's off getting help and getting healthy. And that's when I realized, that's when the light bulb went off of, oh, this is about me. This is about me. And I remember stepping into my first Al-Anon meeting where people were happy even when they were either with alcoholics, or people were happy. Well, most of them weren't happy and they're living with them, but people were happy and people were saying exactly how I felt. And I thought I was the only person in the world. And that really showed me that, oh yeah, I am responsible for my own happiness, because
Absolutely.
person A could be doing somersaults.
Nobody is responsible. Will Smith has a quote where he talked about Jada, his wife. I'm not the one to make you happy.
Yeah.
I shared it a couple weeks ago. It was actually I watched that episode where her and her mother, and I can't remember who they had on as a guest. But I love Red Table Talk. That's another empowering,
I love that show.
My Empowered Conversations. I've been sharing impact theory. Tom Bilyeu, I've been sharing his interviews for years now. And what drives me insane is something will move me to such inspiration. And I'll share it and won't get any engagement. But that's because of Facebook algorithms. If you don't like or follow impact theory, the page, you're not going to see if I share something so fabulous. And that's why a lot of people, I've been interviewed like over 20 times. I've been on other people's podcasts since October, and people are like, well, I didn't see that. Well, I never saw it. And I'm like, well, I share it. But it's because you're not friends with them, so it's not going to rotate on your feed.
Right.
Hartman's interview with me comes out on June 24th, I believe. And
excellent.
And his new thing is, it used to be called The Mindset of Champions, and now it's called Think Tank or something. Yeah,
I'm liking his page now because of his interview, because he was just amazing. I'm just eating
upstairs, and I got my other deviled eggs ready.
I'm just eating pickled cucumber right now.
I know, isn't it phenomenal?
And on that vein, I'll just continue about, so I come to the realization, this is when I was in my 20s, that, I have to make myself happy. How do I do that? And again, talking about, you have to do a little bit of action. I did, I took myself out to dinner. And I can still remember going to, I think it was the Lighthouse Pub in Nanaimo. And before phones, before internet, before all that, I took a book. And here we go. With chives from my garden. I know they're sort of sprinkled all over the place. And the sesame seeds all over the tray.
God.
But I didn't know what color I liked. I didn't know what music I liked. I didn't know, because I was always basing everything on another person. And I really, at 28 years old, 29, had to get to know myself all over again in a new light and get my confidence. I couldn't even walk into a room without having somebody beside me in my 20s. I couldn't do it. I didn't have the confidence to walk into a room. And that went back to my bullying.
So you just said you didn't even know what color you liked. You liked whatever somebody else's color they thought there was?
Yeah.
Kim Bond there's no comment, but Kim Bond, she posted her name, but there's no comment. I'm sure she's tried to say something. And Tina says, OMG, they look so yummy. Yeah, these really are amazing, guys. Again, it's very important to very tinily chop those cucumber and red onion. Hi, Kim! And put them in the rice wine vinegar overnight. Put it in the fridge because you definitely want them cold. And I wound up putting 3 tablespoons. I did too. You want to drain the liquid, 3 tablespoons of each of the red onion. And I'm going to modify the writing of my recipe. I'm so excited. I'm right there. I'm right there with getting my first cookbook ready to send to publishing. I'm right there.
Excellent. And I want to take this opportunity, if Kim Bond is still on here, we need to sing her a little happy birthday, because her 53rd birthday is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So let's do it. Happy.
Happy. 2, 3. Happy birthday.
We can't do it at the same time.
All right. 1.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. We're going to
cut each other out, though. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
One line at a time.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay, so we tried. There we go, Kim.
Happy birthday to Kim. Happy birthday, Kim.
You
So,
know,
wait a minute. I didn't see her birthday because I get up every morning when I'm sitting in my sacred space having my coffee and my bone broth. I always like,
yeah,
happy birthday, so-and-so, happy birthday, so-and-so. And I talk my tongue. It's so funny. My roommates
yeah,
or my Airbnb guests probably think I'm nuts, which I am. Celebrate that
yeah. You
shit.
know, Kim Bond is another one of those resilient people
Big time.
who walk. She walks the talk like
Yep.
nobody I know. You know, she's gone through a lot of hardship
Mm-hmm.
throughout this COVID. She is a single mom of a fantastic athlete who has some challenges. She's had her own challenges, and she has freaking kicked the shit out of COVID and said, "You COVID." And I just
Absolutely.
admire her so much and what she has to
Yes.
offer and what she does for herself and her son on a daily basis. Like she ain't afraid of nothing, man. Digital
No.
marketing, I'm gonna take a course
Uh-uh.
on that. I'm just gonna build
Okay.
this. I'm gonna build that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And
Absolutely. She takes
Kim,
on
if I
the
haven't,
world. She runs
huh?
towards life with open arms. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, there is freedom and there's so much fortunate, life. Run towards life with open arms.
Yes,
And if you
exactly.
can't do it, figure out a way.
Yeah, exactly. I think we might be done.
I think so too. Oh, thank you. Tomorrow, you and me, Siobhan Coates. What are y'all going to do tomorrow? Are y'all going to do
Oh,
something?
we're probably gonna meet in a field for a beer or meet somewhere because we're both are time constricted, but I really wanted to celebrate her. Yeah, and if you follow along, Kim Bond and I, our worlds pre-COVID, I knew of her, she knew of me. We worked in the same fitness arena for a while, but
Yeah.
we were never friends. We never connected, but I had heard of her, she had heard of me. And it was only
Okay.
in COVID that we really became friends, like through the internet, because we weren't allowed to meet or anything. And,
Right.
we do outside workouts together, but again, 10, 15 feet away. So it'll be really nice to actually sit and have a conversation, flesh and blood
Oh
with each
my
other. And that's
God.
really what I wanted to do because I myself, for my life after lockdown, this is part of my
Hmm.
emergence plan, right? Because I suffer with anxiety and I'm working on that. I used to suffer with anxiety. I'm working all the shit around that. But it's also to get out there more. Like I think I shared last week, I did a pedicure. I've started networking in my own community and started slowly seeing each other because I've been a hermit for 15 months, my friends. I have
Yeah.
become a reclusive introvert, extroverted on the computer, but
Yeah.
honestly, I've been cozy and happy inside. So this is part of my plan to get out and start seeing people on my terms so that it's more comfortable
Hmm.
for me. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
That is dog. I'm so excited
Wow.
for you guys. Like that is because I thought that you and her and Tanya were like friends. Like y'all hung out and like and Natalie and I thought all of y'all just like hung out all the time. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
"Wait
I know.
a minute."
Yeah, yeah. But Natalie's a friend. I hang out with Natalie quite a bit.
And
But
Tanya
Kim and
too,
I,
right?
Tanya, I met through Hilarapy. So Tanya and I have
Okay.
only we've been friends for 2 years. I've seen Tanya a lot more in person than I have with Kim. But Tanya and I, again, we don't like pal around and hang out per se. We have certain things in common. But that's all changed now too, right? All of my relationships with people who were just on the peripheral have come into my heart now,
Uh-huh.
right? It's different. They're different friends now, even though it's all been built through the internet these last 15 months. It's still no different than building a friendship.
I especially feel a very heartfelt bond, like even though it has been through the computer, like I am comfortable enough because I am coming to Vancouver, Canada. I'm going to do an episode of De-FaRekin-Licious Conversations, which is a combination of empowered conversations and De-FaRekin-Licious. And I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be with Kim. I don't know if she knows this. I'm going to be with Tanya, and I am so damn excited. And maybe we can meet Seth Rogen if he's there.
We're excited to
Here's
have you.
Kim.
Yeah,
It's happening.
pardon?
What?
I said,
Kim
yeah,
said, cool.
yeah.
I said, hopefully Seth Rogen will be there. because he's from Vancouver. I mean, that's where David Chang was walking around Vancouver, and that's why I had this ding, 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 ding epiphany of wanting to do this food documentary.
We might be able to find him in the 3 million people in Vancouver. We'll take a look and see.
Well, he seems like a really down-to-earth, cool guy.
Oh, he really does.
Sure. I'd love to be a part of De-FaRekin-Licious conversations with you 4 fabulous women. Talking shit and let me showcase in Vancouver and talking about real good stuff.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find him. We're going to find him. That's my mission.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining it. I'm about to say food therapy today. Deviled eggs. I'll get the recipe shared. And Carol, did you guys, have you found Carol, the girl who does
the cocktails? Carol, I want to say Carol Baskin.
Carol cocktails.
Yes, craft cocktails. No, I've got to friend her. I've got to find her and friend her.
She goes live every Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. your time.
Okay. All right. I'll find her.
But yeah, I was on there yesterday until I had to get off and watch Clemenza at 6. But it's awesome. We have so much fun, like just shooting the shit and we all connect one another. Like she connects everybody, and like that's how I had Amy Charland.
Oh, okay.
And I was on hers. But yeah, I'm gonna cocktails with Carol. Carol Boston, like the city Boston, Carol Boston, and she's coming on our show the 24th. We've already solidified it, and she's going to do a cocktail relative to the dish that we prepare that day. That's kind of going to go along with the dish.
Oh, nice!
It's on the June 24th. That's the day my interview with Mike Hartman comes out too. Or
wonderful!
All right, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. See,
my, it's a wireless day.
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth day.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks for joining everyone. See you next week. Bye.